Hi there. Thanks for joining me for another quick vocabulary lesson. I'm going to be talking about the Mexican American War. Here's your term: an armed conflict between the United States and Mexico from 1846 to 1848, in which ended with the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo and the Mexican Cession. So, conflict with the Mexican American War really begins with Texas. So, the United States had decided to annex Texas in 1845, and Mexico had previously warned that this would mean war. And they sent an ambassador to the United States to say that this is an act of aggression. And additional disagreements regarding Texas were really about the boundaries. So, there were these border disputes over whether the Nueces River or the Rio Grande was the actual border. And so not only did they view the annexation of Texas as an act of war, but they also believed the borders were different. So, additionally, what's going to happen is that Polk is going to send Zachary Taylor to cross from Louisiana into Texas and approach the boundary line, the Rio Grande. Now, remember, Mexico views that land as theirs, but Americans now view it as theirs as a result of the annexation of Texas. And so while Americans can justify this movement to the Rio Grande, they're saying, well, this land is all ours. The Mexicans view that crossing from the Nueces into that disputed territory as an even further encroachment onto their land. So Taylor's army waits for the Mexican military to cross, and on April 26th, that does happen, and 11 Americans are killed. So Polk is going to send a war message to Congress in which he states, Mexico has invaded our territory and shed American blood upon American soil. War exists by the act of Mexico herself. So he's saying war is already there. You just need to now vote for it officially. So on May 13th, Congress does declare war. However, not everyone is in support of the war. In fact, Abraham Lincoln, who was a senator from Illinois at the time, questions the spot where blood was really shed. He wonders whether Polk has really fabricated this to get a war in order to expand slavery. So he writes up resolutions requesting Polk provide that exact location. Congress never follows through on these resolutions, but Lincoln aggressively declares that Polk is deeply conscious of being in the wrong, that he ordered General Taylor in the midst of a peaceful Mexican settlement purposely to bring on a war. So the war occurs, and eventually, after a battle in Mexico City, the war will end. Mexico will surrender, and they will sign the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo. And an American diplomat, Trist, is sent to negotiate, but he ends up giving really the minimum that Polk would accept to the Mexican government as an option for the treaty, because Trist was ashamed of the inequity of the war as an abuse of power on our part. So Polk desired much more land than what Trist negotiated for, but that did end up in the official treaty. So all of Texas to the Rio Grande is officially now part of the United States, as well as the Mexican Cession, that huge amount of land that you see up in the map. And the US will pay Mexico $15 million. Again, there is opposition to this treaty because they view it as an expansion of slavery, an effort to do that. So, as a result of the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo, we see the United States go from coast to coast in the southern part of the country. And the Gadsden Purchase, which happens in 1853, wraps up the current continental United States. So, what's the significance of the Mexican American War? It demonstrates the fulfillment of manifest destiny. It continues to spark debates over what the proper role of America is in the world. There was a destructive impact of lives and culture on American Indians and Mexicans in the region, and it's going to ignite a controversy over the expansion of slavery. So I hope that video broke it down for you. If you need more on this, go ahead and watch my video 5.3 on the war with Mexico. It has many more details that will help in your understanding. But if this was helpful for you, please like and subscribe.